Mwami Kaija Sebu tukwaniriza. Thank you for accepting our invitation.
So neyanza nnyo Mwami Serwani ko sina wenganda invitation yo twakkiriziga nti buli wiki tujja kujja nga tunyonyemuko etusobodde kuba ate platform yo online papers ndoza yesinga okubeera authentic.
Thank you very much.
Kubanga ezisinga oli agamba okugamba savuwaza kakadde omugamba nsavuwaze nga ate manyi kitono olowooza osanga ne zigaba emitwe ogenda okebera content nga
sibi ebyo
byanombuuza lwaki owadde ogwo omutwe nti ogwo gwenkoze eki ndabe bwe gujja okutunda nga okuba gunaatunda lwaki ekyo si kye bwayogeddeko n'abantu baguliza ddala ki konde so mulengera nti abantu bagyesiga so nze kugunde gye beesiga sirina bwe ŋŋana nayo nkugibeerako nange banneesiga okwesigibwa kwa mulengera.
We are very grateful. We don't take that for granted. You know, we have an audience which is beyond this region.
Yes.
So we shall be using two languages here and there. I would like to start this way. How old were you in 1986 when General Museveni became president of Uganda?
I was 7 years because I was born in 1979.
Okay.
I was 7 years.
You were 7 years.
Yes.
So have you ever been his supporter?
I was in P1.
Okay.
No, I think we're having some kind of that little influence by the teachers of political education who would want to try to make you love him. But I've grown up in a background that is anti him.
Okay.
Although I grew up in a house which was once his cell.
Okay. Where was this?
That is Naruvule, Oima Road. A cell where Museveni used to stay. And if he's passing on the car, people who know him, they will see him look there. It was his cell that used to. I come from a strong DP family.
Okay.
My uncle, late Lucas Zinja, was one of the candidates of DP 1980, and he became MP of Kabula, but never took oath. He won and went to the bush.
Okay.
And joined Kaira
UFM.
UFM. So we also had a cell of Kaira near where the Lord Mayor stays. That is called Sekabaka Road. Around there. We used to have a home there. And there was a cell of Kaira.
Okay.
Actually, one time I think it was attacked and they killed some of the operatives that were there. So I come from a strong DP family, although many of them moved with me to FDC, and when I hear them talk, possibly now they could be moving with me in PFF.
Okay.
But where there is no FDC candidate, all of my relatives vote DP.
Okay.
Now in the event there is no PFF, you will find them vote DP. That is why you'll never find me on any platform castigate DP with these problems. Privately I speak about them,
yes,
but in public I have that respect for it. I know I hurt people who are dear to me, so I park it.
So you grew up in a political family?
Yes.
Political family.
Actually, that uncle of mine, we are too tight.
The MP who never took office.
We are too close, so
yes,
I must say he lectured me a lot about politics.
Okay.
He was even a journalist because he's the one that started that UMY.
The journalism course at UMY.
Even UMY, that thing called UMY.
He was a
I have
director?
Two uncles who have studied things in this country.
Yes.
He studied UMI. My other uncle, Justice Francis Secandi, started LDC.
Okay. Okay. These are paternal uncles or maternal?
Yes, I know they are maternal uncles.
Okay.
Maternal uncles. I'm too close to the family of my mother. That Injovu clan is too dear to me. But I've been with them. They've raised me. They've caned me. So I am what I am because of them. Even up to today, when my uncle says a thing, I park. You say, please move slowly. I park. So he started that, and even I think after the war they had some newspaper called The Star. In the history of you people, journalists, you must have found it.
The Star, yes, yes.
So he's one of the guys who would come and tell me, they do this. If you want to be a leader, this is what you do. So my background is Democratic Party.
Okay. So for how long have you been in politics? For how many years have you been
now
in
that tells
politics?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I can't even know.
But consciously,
I know I have told you, for us at home, politics, actually for me I also think, when I find soldiers, what do they talk about? When I find, it's just I'm trying now to learn that people can talk about something other than politics. For me, I knew politics is life. Because at home, even when you find a home, kids even at the level of nursery have an opinion about politics. They know what we support. Even out there, will tell you PFF. They tell you their colors. They tell you who they don't want.
Yes.
So that is how we were raised. Until you could say, when did you eventually seriously join in? I think that is the maturity age of 18, when you're 18, and then they started allowing me home to go in organizing of meetings, rallies.
When did you first participate in elections?
In elections?
Voting, the first time you voted?
I think around 2001. 2001,
Okay.
But 1996, we are the party being sent to organize this, do this, do this. I can never forget twice meeting Semwogerere.
Semwogerere Kawanga?
Yes, we knew him at a personal level. We used to call him Jaja, and his uncle, his son Karoli, and
now
he became
the judge.
He has been our family lawyer.
Yeah, okay.
That is Remy Kasule.
Remy Kasule.
Yes. You know his DP.
I don't.
Kawanga.
I know.
These are people.
JB Kawanga.
Yes, of Masaka. So those are people I know. Literally, I know that he's this, is that. So I remember seeing Semwogerere, his convoy. And I said, I've never seen such a convoy. I found it in Kangurume. I think going to that side of Kayunga. I was going to Nagalama. Then he came to Wakiso and had a big rally with the Cecily Ogwals.
Yeah.
That's when there was this song by I think it's called DJ Bobo. That song, Cecilia. You're breaking my heart.
Yes,
yeah.
Yes.
Up to that, I love that song.
Yes.
But just because of that rally.
Okay.
So then you can see, at that age, we are allowed to do what? To go for rallies.
Yes. Yes.
I know who my mother supported. I know who was this. I know when my dad was supporting the Sayers of this one. You know, my mother went to school, but he loved Sayer.
Yeah.
So that's the guy he stands for. So that is how. Then I think after 2001, we started serious politics.
You know a little bit on the PK, the Semwogerere thing in 1990, that IPFC. You know a lot of people think that these things have just started today.
Because they don't know.
They had big rallies.
Because they don't know.
Big things, the euphoria.
No, because they do not
people
know.
People planting trees and putting flowers out.
And I think journalists, you have not helped them. You guys, wait a minute. This has been the trend.
Yeah, but
when Ugandans are with you, they are with you.
But I think the disadvantage that time, this capacity to record things and keep them, because you don't have a single video of that time of 1996.
No, I think
not very easy to
it is
find
possible
one.
You could get it if you went to UBC, because if they have clips of the 1960s, I think those are not stories they really want to bring out. Yes. But I think somehow, creatively, if you went there, you'll have them. You'll have them.
Yes.
And I want to think they could have had, I don't know if they were international observers, possibly some.
But not as much as today.
Exactly. As today. No, because today everybody is a journalist.
Everybody.
Except that what I don't like about today is how somebody can make a rally of 200 people to appear to be 2,000, 20,000. Or somebody who has a rally in a corridor, and then they show it was a big stadium. That's what I don't like. So they mislead you. So and so had these numbers.
So fast forward, 1999, Dr. Besigye authors his document. Where were you at that point in time?
No, you see, for us at home, as I told you, it was a command to watch TV.
Yes.
They would bring newspapers, and so if you want to newspapers tomorrow, you must be able to tell what you picked from the papers.
Yes.
So for me, I used to love sports. I'd read the sports very fast.
The back pages.
Politics. Then I go to the back page, I concentrate. So that when they asked me, I have something to say.
Yes.
So you'd have an opinion, but you've read the Monitor, the Crusader, then you say, no, Dad, this one, yes. So tomorrow they bring the papers. If you don't, so because I wanted to see the Majidu Musisi and the like, I had first of all to be able to pick a line that I'll speak about, and then my dad is happy, and then go to my sports. So I cannot really gather really well the opinions of, but what I remember the death of Sequoyama.
Sequoyama, yes. That's
I think that
2000 something.
No.
2000.
No, 2000.
Yeah.
First 1999, 2000. Because 2000. He died before.
The 2001.
Yes, he was supposed to be the flag bearer
of DP.
That is at home. That is what I'd been told. Sequoyama is the person that is going to provide leadership of DP. Then we had Sequoyama has died in an accident. At home we are told it was not an accident. That is the opinion I still have.
Conspiracy theories.
We don't quite, but they say, you know, when your parents tell you, and you're not on a radar, and then this guy has been killed. So now that is when we see Dr. Besigye coming in the equation. Then you hear Seya coming in. But of course, at the time, Dr. Besigye's wife was more popular
than him.
Being an MP from Barara. And that group of the Kazoras, the Okelo, the Agura Wori, the Patrick Mwanda. There was Patrick Mwanda, that UPC guy.
Patrick Mwanda.
Yes. No, Mwanda. Mwanda. Yeah, I forget now the name. His name disturbs me a lot. But that group, Okelo. There was another guy from Nango.
Okule
Park.
Benny Watcher.
Yes, Benny Watcher. I met the daughter of Okule Park on some wedding, and I felt that made my wedding. That wedding.
Yeah.
I'm a daughter of Okule Park. Said, are you serious? She was a medical doctor. We didn't exchange phones, but that kind of said, you come from. So that is how politically conscious that we are at the time. Then eventually after, would go for rallies, and then you fear to go back home. Those who had supported the group of Dr. Besigye. You would fear. You would go and make noise. The hunting was serious. So you'd first ask, is home safe? So there was a difference between you who was campaigning, now the person going home. So possibly I think the crowds would give you morale to speak. So would speak. There's a gentleman called Dr. Kasozi.
Of DP?
Of DP.
The one of Mpigi?
Yes, as I told you. That guy had moved. He also contributed a lot on my politics.
Okay.
He moved me a lot in around Mpigi. He would go. These young kids can speak. So he would speak on Dombe, he would speak on barrios, he would speak on functions, and he would provide everything. He would provide you meals, provide facilitation, he would take us through trainings. So in that way, that groomed us and big serious. By the time Mr. Museveni started wanting to change the constitution, we joined the Mwanga Chivumbi campaign.
Popular resistance against the presidents.
That's why you hear me, I still call him my leader.
Yes.
I think that exposure to serious politics. Because now you had to know some provisions of the constitution.
Yes.
Article 279, that was very popular.
Prohibited political parties.
That article, I'm forgetting the one that was running term limits. So we would
105.
No, 105. Is it A? Still have been yes. So those articles, we started learning them, and you would speak about them. So he would literally teach us on what to tell people, how bad it is. I think that yes, no, I call one day gear.
Okay.
Traveling Gundi, yes, and to one day gear. Then I would transit Nansana one day gear.
One day gear, abantu babera wawo. Ngachibuga nnyo.
Mabiga try to be out. kati wagenze wakola ki otandika
n'okunonya ngeno kufureka
yes kati saa zino onoonya gy'obeera nga tukola ki tukyasaakula nti abantu buli wamu batemawo ne bateekawo ki
structure
hostels wakati hostels is the thing so awo neefuuka ki no kati bwenabeerange nansa I had after my senior 6 I bought a bicycle
senior 6 wagikolera wampozi
Uganda Matters
Lubaga
yes
okay
kakati bwe nfuna eggaali eyo nagisoma naye ne bangoba ebibuuzo n'emiti okusemba bayita hawa
enaluvule wali
yes kati masa waliyo yali tenanti waffe kakati mama wange nanga nti kale gendo tulemu ezo sente kakati dinga nenkola ki
lwaki bakugobera Lubaga what happened byabufuzi
no I think no
performance
no tebangoba kubanga ne bwe nagenda wazenda basinga
okay
mu senior 6 zina basinga noza kubeera assertive
outspoken ngo izo
yes na bwe bangambe neda bwe mbande ku kintu twagenda ntufuluma kwali kula mpira na kivubu kubanga Lubaga
it was a boarding school
yes Lubaga wasomeranga abaana abasambo mpira David Obua nasoma naye he was my classmate
mtabani wa Dennis Obua
yes David Obua Philip Software nasoma naye Olevo ogundi waliwo Mugabi era asamba nnyo nga ali mu makati ga villa ne kati nga yomu kuba tufunya tickets ne kati yagenda n'abulya mu America eyo waliwo Muganda Amagidi Muserimu Express I now forget his name there was a serious group of footballers so when they were playing and they had one kulukona kivuuduko apparently the deputy was a referee.
The deputy teacher of Lubaga?
Yes, I even met now he is a resident of Nasada, my voter.
Okay.
We met on Easter.
So he was a referee?
Yes, so one time we go to jubilate, only to turn the guy was right here.
We escaped from school?
Yes, we escaped. So because I was not nabbed then, when we went in, my best friend,
yes.
Prince Basamula Nicholas, the son of Mulangira Namugala
of Munyonyo.
You know, those are my tight.
Okay.
That's why I got a chance of even meeting the Kabaka.
Okay.
They are very dear to me. Okay. He says in the US, for him he considered. And I think from there, did we go to check on his girlfriend? I think we went to check on his girlfriend. So when I picked up from here, he said, no, I am not. They said, whoever accepts that they actually went out will be forgiven. My colleague said, yes. So I said, no.
I was here, I didn't go anywhere.
I was here. You know, I also come from a family that has always told there is a judge. The uncle of mine died. So I said, no, I was told that if you have a position, keep it and defend it. So I grew up knowing to defend until when my mother, after I think senior started telling me that, you know, sometimes you have to see the ground. But I just, I would defend myself. They gave me an exposure.
Okay.
And I went and registered. And
this is which year?
That was in 1999.
Okay. So from Lubaga, you go to Naruvule there?
Yes, I stayed at home. So I would commit, I would stay. Actually, I would spend my day home reading. Okay. I wanted to disprove my father that I can read. He
was so disappointed with that expulsion.
No, because even in senior 4, I was expelled. And I went and I performed very well.
In another place?
He said that, now can't you see, if you had stayed, you would get a super fast grade. And not knowing that possibly, even this was a driver. Even the same thing here, I beat them in, I always love my economics. I found myself, I was the best. So my dad was saying that, now if you had not been chased by,
if you stayed
then you would be in the newspapers. I said for me that was not
so my you ended goal. Up with how many points?
I ended up with 20 points.
On 25?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So you joined Makerere now?
I joined Makerere. I started
private?
I studied for a year.
Okay.
Bachelors of Laws.
Hey.
And then along the way...
You were at the law school of Makerere
yes,
for
my
whole
dad,
year?
Yes, my dad lost his what? his job.
Employment.
And there was no money.
Okay.
And I had not told my and I didn't tell my uncle. So my marks could take me to do a diploma.
At RDC?
No, I went. I did a diploma in education.
On government?
Hey, on government.
Okay.
So now it is
still Makerere?
No, I went to Nkozi. So I did it. After this, my uncle, and why didn't you tell me? Then now my sister had started working.
Okay. Your elder sister?
Yes. Then she was getting some good money.
Okay.
Said, she was into accounts. Said, I think that is where I should I should go.
Okay. Then
I went to, after my diploma, when I started teaching, we realized there was no money in teaching. Yeah. My big brother said that even a person who lays bricks is far better than you, because I told him how much I was earning.
Maybe you were not in a good school.
Yes, but I was a very good teacher. I must say, even the kids I have taught, even of VIPs, including there was one of Ab Mayanja. Mayanja became my friend because of his last kid. His child was in your school? Yes, there was a kid I was teaching. Which school was this? I went to how I taught them. You went back to your former school? Yes, I taught them. I taught in schools in Nansan, about 4 of them. Yes. You were moonlighting? Yes. But eventually, some lady called Hajat Chibirige had me speak one time, said, but I think you can make a good MC. So her husband had a function, and they invited me, and she told them, this is an MC for hire. So they organized 150,000 for me. Said, from now on, never speak free of charge. Now I started getting gigs of things, and I made money. So the amount of money I would make as an MC was far higher than the amount I was making as a what? In 4 schools. In 4 schools. I said, what is this? Then when I went back to school, then after graduating, my friend of mine took me to UNRA. Okay. The first day I got 500,000. On one day? By midday. By midday? Yeah. By end of evening, I had $1 million shillings in my wallet. I said, when they brought 500,000 to thank me for managing the numbers, you know, for me to give me numbers, I can resort numbers. I think I put them on. I gave a spreadsheet to the station engineer. I said, wow, this is what you wanted. What exactly were you doing at UNRA? Which numbers are these? Were you counting stones? No, I don't want to discuss UNRA with these issues. I always want to just to keep that. So it was a stint. You made a stint there. Oh, came back to town and said, yes, this is what they call working. Yeah. Actually, my friends opened up another school. I said, I can offer you services free of charge. Yeah. I can no longer earn money of a teacher. So I would go to their school. They had started a school in Kabumbi. I would start at 6 up to 8. Kabumbi is where? Kabumbi again is in Nansana. Okay. There's a guy who is an admin of IU. It's called Segirinya Ali. Okay. So he was my friend. Said, no, I'm going to give you an offer. He was a director? Yes. I will teach free of charge. In the morning I come, teach and go. Because I said, you do not have the money. I want to earn. You will have issues. So you had the passion for teaching? Yeah, no, by the way, I love teaching. Even now when we are Najana Kumbi had started the leadership school. You were one of the professors? Yes, no, I'm bringing it back here. Okay. Because I love teaching. Okay. I'd even tried lecturing, but I think before COVID I put my CV around. As I was going to start, then COVID came. Okay. Now after COVID, there were elections. You had got any offer somewhere? Yes, I had asked some universities, even including Makerere. My lecturers loved my presentations because you see, like at postgraduate level, you do presentations. And then they see that this one is solid. They are recommended because Makerere being political, you can work there. You can. For private universities, they have that. Someone are taking the private, I said, now, you take me to private university, they have their issues. I said, I'll try to go and make some ends meet. You know, there's when you're stuck, you want to go and pick something. So when you go back to the university, which university was this? I went to Shambogo. Which course did you? I did a Bachelor's of Marine Science. Okay, 3-year course? Yes. Okay. Then I went back and did another one in economics. Because I wanted to appreciate economics. Okay. Same university? Yes. Then I go to Makerere. I did.
Who was your vice chancellor at Kyambogo?
I met Rutalo.
Rutalo Bosa.
Professor Rutalo Bosa.
So you were a pioneer student?
No.
Rutalo pioneered the...
Yeah, no. I came after
in
him.
His later years?
I came, yes. Possibly. But at least I met him. In his office, I got a chance twice to speak to him. His one administrator, I was shocked. Who goes office at 5? The first time I had an appointment with him, organized by Dr. Mute Sasira, he told me, go very early, Kera. So I thought Kera would mean 7:30. He arrived at 7. He told me, you saw the vehicle going out?
He has gone.
Him. So I went back to the guy. I'm sorry, doctor. I was there at 7. I found the guy leaving. See, the guy you're talking about, the chairman, UNEB. Yeah. He's the chairman, National Curriculum Development Center, and chairman of some other thing.
He has so many things.
He had actually mobilized all of those organizations. Were around Kyambogo and Intinda.
Yes.
And he had a proportion this time. So he said, let me organize. Now this time around at 6, I was in office.
Were you a day student, evening?
Yeah, no, I was an evening student. Okay. Because we had become too serious into politics. So we would do our politics, go back to what? Go back to university. Sometimes you do. Now we had decided even becoming a fugitive. So being a resident would seriously cause you problems.
Now this Dr. Besigye, you seem to be one of his very loyal disciples. When did you first meet him? What attracted you even to the man?
But I remember the event. He invited me. Actually, I organized him his first lecture at the university.
Okay.
Afterwards, he invited me in this building of Katonga.
The lecture was at Kyambogo?
Yes.
Okay.
He addressed for
so
5...
So you knew Sam or Joby something?
Eh?
There was a boy there who was an FDC degree president
I
called
think
Sam
me.
Something.
No, it is me who started the FDC in Kyambogo.
Chapter,
it is me.
Okay.
Me as a person.
So you organized a function,
yes, invited
speaking
him.
engagement?
Before it was hard, it was full capacity. Dr. Besigye addressed it for 5 years. I could be even having the seat at home.
Okay.
5 hours.
He spoke for 5 hours.
All lecturers were amazed. People say we have never seen a very intelligent person like this guy, an intellectual, that we lecturers, you cannot afford that time when you are speaking sense. And nobody was leaving. Actually, literally, there were no lectures that day. First they thought he wouldn't come. Eventually he arrives.
Oh, they didn't think they thought he would be too busy.
You know how boys can. Eh?
I know. Students can try to.
So he invited me to this Katonga. Sit down, see.
What was he talking about in 5 hours?
I think I need to revisit. I was so happy, so I can't remember what I was talking about.
The history of the country,
the history of the country, the struggle, their role. I think I have. I'll check through.
You should be having a video somewhere.
I know that I got that video.
Okay.
As a guy to give it to me, but I never visited it.
So after the event, he was so impressed.
So he invited me to this office and took me to Mr. Chapa Karuhanga's office. I said, you know this young man? He's a UID, blah, 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 blah. Find me a little, then we got him. We spoke for 3 hours.
The 3 of you?
2.
With chairman?
No, 2, me and him.
Doctor?
Yes.
Okay.
That's why I say he recruited me. We spoke for 3 hours. Told me about himself, about his family. He told me about the struggle, how he joined the struggle, why he joined the struggle, the sacrifices involved, the nature of the enemy we are dealing with, not an easy man. Actually, at one time he said that what we want, he wants it more than anything. It is near to his life. That means M7, Uganda government, is his life. So removing it from him, he sees as if you are you're actually killing him.
An existential threat.
So you must fight a little. You must fight a little. So I won't promise you it's going to be easy. I love that statement. I won't promise you it's going to be easy. It's going to be hard, but we must do the hard things. And I don't know for Sama, because another cousin of my mother, the late Lieutenant Sally, worked with him when he was in Masaka.
In mechanized?
Mechanized, I think. My home, they had a soft spot for him. You know, for me, when my home, they love you, you can take me anywhere. Because they are only people I account to.
Okay.
If they don't like you, it is you, even if you convinced me, because I must go and tell them. My other uncle who died was another lawyer, would speak highly about him. So I think he had done a background check. You know, he does it about me, knew my family. When we talked about that uncle of mine, they had met in the US and spoken, blah, 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 blah. I said, okay, fine. I'll work with you. He went and met my father. He met my mother. He knows all my siblings. So my dad said, I've given you this boy. So I always tell people who want me to join, I said, my dad died in 2017. So where will I find him now to go and address this change? So if he told me I move with him, if you are still alive, I would go and ask. But since he's dead, I'll keep here. So that's how we started.
Okay. So how does he get to invite you? Was it through a phone call? Was it through
Mwijuche? No, phone call.
Okay. So in which capacity did he, okay.
No, I had a call and said, my name is Kiza Besigye. Oh.
You stopped breathing a bit.
Yeah, I want to see you. Are you free on such and such a date? You know, that is him. Are you free? I said, of course, even if you're not free, how do you tell Kanovesi that you are busy? That is the thing I've never told him.
Yes.
Actually, it is him and the struggle that stopped me from doing MCing work. Because twice I skipped people's functions.
Because you had the engagement.
One, I had a function here, and then he had gone to the US, he came back, and they called me, where are you? I said, I'm in town. Can you prepare and we go to Kasesa at 2?
2 at 2 a.m., 2 p.m.?
2 p.m. He had arrived at 10. And then say, at 2, we are going to Kasesa. You see that kind of life, that is when, if you went and met Fred Kato, his driver.
Yes.
We bought many shirts around because that is how we would go. Okay. He doesn't give you a lot of days to prepare. So when you go, he gives you money. You can, if you're spending 3 days, you can buy 2 shirts. So I would find myself with a pair of shirts.
Okay.
But you see, my mother loves these people, they need it. So most of these things I would want give them out. But would buy. So he called me and said, we go. I got another person standing in for me. Then another one, I was supposed to be an MC of a former teacher of mine. By the time they called, we are in Kabali. Then I said, people hate me. I packed.
You're becoming unreliable.
Yes, I stopped with people. I said, no, I don't want.
You had carried on with that?
Yes, and it was making, you know, you go, they give you 500,000, 1,000. There was a guy who gave me $1 million shilling. It was so excited. So I packed it. Now I remained, become an MC on our functions. I think the next time I was doing an MC on a wedding was the wedding of my cousin, Engineer Lomo, about 2 years back. And I put a disclaimer that I am here. We must be sure we have no program. If there's a problem that pops in, said my big brother, because he's the son of my auntie.
Okay.
So I said, they said, no, you must, we shall pray. I said, oh, fine. We counted and said, I think I'll be there. Another one wanted, I said, no, I am not. So that is how we started.
Make that sacrifice.
So that is how we started the seriously working together. And he has helped me understand this country. Okay. Moved around this country more than 4 times.
Now, sir, briefly, the event at Chambogo, you organized it as who? Were you the chairman of the chapter? Were you a volunteer? What was the capacity in which you acted? Do
I even know? You know, activism is very funny. When you become serious, you become the boss.
Yes.
And if you can knock doors, he's organized, you know, we can do this. I'll write. I go, I ask him. he allows. I think that was one of the reasons. One of the reasons why I met Professor Bossa.
You needed some permission.
Yes, clearance. He did. Because hosting a person of his caliber, really, the CEO of the university had to do what?
This Chambogo thing, you know, Chambogo had for a long time been a stronghold of Dr. People liked him from the very beginning. So who were the contemporaries, the peers that you worked with in that mobilization?
You know, I am not good at blowing my own trumpet. I built the FDC in that university. It is my thing. Actually, consistently, for about 10 years, we only lost once.
You always produced good presidents.
But we continuously being able to recruit the right kids and then trying to keep with them. But of course, along the way, you lose them. After winning, the state invites them,
they get captured.
They get captured. I think we had not designed a mechanism of holding them after winning.
Retention.
To prepare them to win, but after, because you don't want to run their
affairs,
their governments. You want them to be leaders, but they become bosses. By the time you know, they tell you so and so works in this, so and so works with the rest. So that is how we had. I think there are guys. There was a guy called, I think he's an engineer, Malinga, relative to Honorable Lasso. There was a guy I liked so much, Mpaji. Mpaji must be aligned to Auntie
currently,
but I have not seen him
for some
time. But I know he's a principled guy. He must be still with Aunt. Which other guy?
You know MCing?
I know him. Yes, I know him.
Was he with you?
Yes, I know him.
He was an FDC.
But not very active. But he was with us.
He was even a councillor in
yes,
KCCA.
And you know there are people who are active in the elective politics, but not in this organizational politics, where some of us are.
Yes.
The people will tell you who have been FDC, but when tell him how does the FDC operate, they don't know. But the FDC, they come carry your card, win with it.
Yeah.
But inside, when you're running politics, you never see them. So and those are many.
So
and that is the tragedy with our politics. That and because they can win, you find yourself giving them tickets. The one that the cadres, because they don't have resources, or sometimes they are too rightless. They do not know how to. You know, when people are winning, they go make some alliances with the police, with the state, and have some concessions to win. So now a serious cadre won't. And not doing that, you lose. How do you deal with the EC? How do you deal with the police? How do you deal with the military? How do you deal with the NRM cadres? Those other stakeholders. The dynamics of winning that elections is what the other guys perfection. I think somewhere you find them not doing the building of the party, but some are building empires. You could find someone and they tell you that guy wins, but none of your candidates wins at council level, at a woman. Say, so how do you win? For you win, the woman MP doesn't win, the councillors don't win, but somehow he wins.
Kati era still mu chambo gawo bani boyinze banamazi olivu ba Ismaili
those are bana bitwazimba. After I want to say I was very active in Namazi's
because she was even a president
there. Elections yes very active. Badogi
stood.
I worked with him because I think somehow he was a friend of a guy called Ojobire. Augustine. He was a good president. No, Ojobira.
I remember. He was Sam.
Sam Ojobira was a good president. So we worked with him. Then eventually I told him he was in Jema. I said, why don't you join the FDC?
Isma was in Jema.
Yes, even if he told you today, because sorry to people, I don't say about people if they have not said it.
Yes.
And he calls me his father in politics. I also call him father.
Yeah. Because
his wife is Naguja.
Okay.
My mother from the Nyovu clan. So somewhere we crisscross.
Yes.
I brought him and eventually contested. He didn't win, but remained active in the party.
He was.
Yes, the others came and used the platform to win. Only that we can't really account for many of them where they are.
It happens.
Others, after university, they go in private business and they do not want to speak about politics at all.
Then back to Dr. KB, fast forward. He had his people like Mugumya Sam, like Francis Mwijuche. At what point did you come to be introduced to those two?
No, with some, I don't know even how. But Mwijuche, because you see Mwijuche was operating from Mbarara. He would only come what?
Once in a time.
Come in, yes. I think now I got to know him when he became vice chairperson of the Youth League for Western Uganda. But Sam, we are in every campaign together, everything together. So he actually became my brother. That's why when he was in jail in Congo, at least I will not spend weeks without talking to him. Even up today, he's in exile, but we get our time in the night. We speak because he was there to me. We competed in reading books.
He liked to read books.
Yes. There are times when we go to Aristoc and we buy just 2 copies. In fact, they don't have those books. We deposit our money and do what? And they bring us 2 copies of books. So I think it's the only contemporary that I'm sure who I compete with in reading books. Because for me, if you gave me money, the first bunch of your money, what I do, I buy a copy of a book and I write your name. Then the next I eat, but the first money, I buy. If I have money and somebody has a book, I'll buy it. Do you mind that I bought a book in COVID? When everybody wanted their share, there was a book. It's called Do Not Disturb.
What is it about?
Politics again?
Okay. So
that
now,
book is about Rwanda.
Rwanda, yes.
The assassination of Kaija.
It's a recent
look for one of the books of Michel Long. So the guy had brought them on the black market and had a few copies.
Okay.
So he said, I know you're one of the readers. I have a book. Now I said, I looked at the little man, but now I said, this is black market. This book can never be in Aristoc, even if you ask for it. I had to go for my 100,000. And I bought that book. Except that when I lent it to someone, he told me that he had given it back to me, but he hadn't. And
So
I
it
think somehow
like that.
he had somebody saw it. But I now have a soft copy, but eventually I want a hard copy because I want that story home. So Mugumya, now we started actually working together in the same office.
Right here?
With Dr. Best. No, in Najanakum.
Okay.
That's why you'd find us in that vehicle, both of us. Although people say we are camera shy, no, we are not about publicity. No, we are supporting our leader.
Yeah.
If it's okay for me, I even can't stand the other side. So with the Mugumya, we would work, he would give us assignments. Thanks for him, we were staying with him, he would call you. Papa said, we do this, come here, we'd meet together, let's go organize this sales. We did a lot of organization. I was telling someone who was saying that, no, can't we bring walk to work again? I said, walk to work. Don't think it was spontaneous. It's something in which
people
invested
sat down
for us a lot of time and knowledge, and we moved around this country. That's why I love that guy, Kasibante.
Of Moses of Rubaga North.
That section going to Masaka up to Lyantonde, up to that side of Kalisizo. Kalisizo, yes, as you're going to Chotera, going to the border. We did it with Kasibante.
Doing what?
Putting up structures for walk to work.
Okay. Those committees.
Yes, that's why I can account for walk to work. So there's people say it's a big thing. They organized them. Said if you don't, you're just joking.
Kasibante, you found him highly committed and effective.
Very committed. Let me tell you, Kasibante is a committed guy. One time he was sick. We drove and I said, no, we must do this assignment. because we had an upcoming activity. And then we need to do what?
Reawaken this.
That's why many of our ranks, the activist, is a popular guy. He's a popular guy. That's why if you had a ticket and he's also contesting, I can't decampaign him. I remember when we were Najana Nkumbi, I'd always prompt his name to be put on the what? On the shadow cabinet. Even at the time when he was being made vice chairperson, Kosase, it is me brought his name. I told Power, deal with the rest. Put Kaswande somewhere. For me, if you do that,
but the speaker
I am
frustrated
it was only frustrated, and the good thing, Honorable Semuji went and told. I know I don't tell people that I've done something for you. Honorable Semuji went and told him that Kaija made you what? So he came, hey, my brother, you love me to that level. I said, I just don't love you. You are committed to this struggle. For me, if somebody is committed, I recommend you. I don't tell you. If the boss tells you, so some have actually kept the last message he sent to me before he was arrested. I don't know which year is that. 2013. But I've kept that message on my line. We are supposed to have some operation in along Entebbe Road. No, the operation when I was arrested that led to that, the song you are talking about. We were arrested that we had gone with the Lord Mayor and doctor. We claimed that we are trying to supervise the KCCA work. But of course they knew we are mobilizing the city. And then Mayhem went at mini price when things became too hard. This guy called James Ruweza comes and tells me.
Was it for KMP?
Yes, asking that, tell your boss to leave. I told him, can you go and ask Kaihura to leave? Can you? He's my boss. If he's here, I'm...
Leave from what? Was
no,
to
leave the place.
The downtown?
Yes, and we go in the vehicle. I told him that he's my boss. Can you go and ask your boss to leave? Then eventually gunshot started. People ran away. We had mobilized numbers, but Ugandans are cowards. Whereas we are the only people on the streets who had not run away. Then somehow the drive of Nabila brought a Noah, Haji Kakande.
Kakande, yes.
So we pushed Doctor, literally pushed him because these guys were shooting us. And then we drove. He did not want the vehicle to move. He was telling Haji, park the vehicle. Haji wanted to drive. Then we drove. Now when we reached Bank of Uganda, they overpowered us.
They stopped it by force?
Yes, they blocked us.
Okay.
So they removed Dr. Kawesa, put him in his car. For us, they refused us to leave. We remained there. They passed through as we are reaching Grand Imperial. One of our colleagues jumped out.
Who was this?
He's called Martin Biomuhanji.
The one of Lukunji.
I wanted to jump out. The guy said, anyone who jumps out, I shoot. I said, fine.
He was running away from
the vehicle, yes. Yes. So we were taken to CPS, beaten thoroughly at the supervision of James Ruweza. This colleague of ours, Kakande, was beaten.
The Haji, the driver.
The time we spent was there after we came out. 2 months he was dead. Yeah, Kakande died.
You see, people have paid really.
No, let me tell you, people have paid. I had someone talk about these drones. These drones came and walk to work.
Yeah, true.
The second of walk to work. True. There's a drone called 1928 and 1929. UP 1928, 1929. The first one appeared at Kakande's roundabout.
Mulago.
Yes, Kakande, the side of Kakande. So as we fought, you see, they had thought we had gone back home. Then we jumped in. Said, no, we are going to office. When we reached Kalero, the doctor asked the vehicle to park.
In the road?
Yes, he gets out. My colleague Kato tells me, don't go. He was. I said that he can't get out, and I remain. We get out. As we move, reaching
you were on foot now.
We were on foot, and people the masses.
The crowds had formed.
Then when we reached that round, that guy called Twishimye.
The police
Is
commander?
he still the DPS of RPC of Kawempe? He was then DPC one day. He came and stood before us, and we were moving. He wanted to hit Dr. Besigye with the baton. I put my what? My hand there.
You shielded the
Yes,
principal.
he hit me hard. Oh, the guy got annoyed. Then, not realizing a drone had come into the crowd, we were only pushed in what?
In the drone.
In the drone. Some Mugumia crossed that that tunnel their side.
The Mwala.
He told me what they met up there.
He was trying to escape from danger and landed into something worse.
But even this was worse.
Okay.
The distance from Kale, from that roundabout to Wandegear, if I talked about it, you would think it is a story of a year.
Yeah, what you went through in that
By the time
less than
we
a
reached
kilometer.
Wandegear, Nwagaba Jethro had lost 2 teeth.
This man of Sabagabo.
Yes.
Jethro Nwagaba.
Yes.
To who? Who took
The guys
them?
were in there. You know, they were putting on
bitten
t-shirts.
inside the
Yes, they were
drone.
putting on t-shirts of university. Makerere, Chambogo. So the thing they were calling. Poop, poop, poop. So some of us went and shielded the doctor at the top.
Yeah.
They were poop, 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 poop. Huh?
Jethro was a fighter.
Yes,
I
but
remember him.
yeah,
He lost his teeth.
Yes, a very serious fighter. We punched and punched and punched. By the time we reached where everybody had blood.
The media had no idea
No
where
way,
people have disappeared.
no media can see what happened. If they cannot tell you what happened, their drones in Kawempe. How could they tell the drone that we are having that side? I won't tell you, but getting out, we thought like as if you're going to heaven.
At Wandegear.
At Wandegear.
Retired also was now soaked in blood.
No, we
He had
covered
been
him.
shielded.
We shielded him, but
You had Francis also, Biamugisha Moses.
no. I think was Bamge, which no, I had Mwijuche. I had
Sam.
no, I had Jethro.
Jethro, yes.
Myself. Which other person? I don't know why I forget that person. I need to look to the picture and doctor.
Okay.
Well, I think we were 4 or 5. Then we were taken to
Wandegear.
yes, Wandegear, then taken to
Nagara.
no, this police, this court in Nabweru.
Nabweru Court, yes.
Yeah. We reached there, the magistrate said she was tired.
This is in the evening.
No, it was at 2.
At 2, yes.
Council Mpanga said, tired?
Dawoodi was there himself.
Yes, was our lawyer tired? No, rest for 1 hour. We come and said, I am tired.
I'm remanding.
I'm reminding them. Where? Nakasongola.
Hey, this is how you spend Easter in Nakasongola.
Yes.
I remember that time.
We were driven to Nakasongola. The way the guy drove us,
That same drone which
he would end the truck and we were like, if he's going to kill us. We could hardly breathe when we reached
the doctor is
Nakasongola.
there with you.
Eh?
You have that doctor.
Yes, all of us we were remanded. We reached there, we found there the mouse.
Nobody Mao, yes. And they spent Easter together.
Yeah, we spent Easter together. That very night they switched off electric power.
In Nakasongola.
In Nakasongola. So for us, we are too tired. We slept. When we sleep over, when we sleep in the morning, the doctor tells you guys, you can even be carried and taken. What had happened? There was he saw light, had a vehicle, and saw light, a vehicle park. So he sat upright and waited, only to hear someone walk up to the back of our
room,
of our cell. He picks a torch, puts on the torch.
The person outside.
Yes, So when they see the torch, they knew we are not asleep. So the entire time was spent there. There was no electricity. I had written some prison notes which were stolen by the prison warders. So on after Easter Monday is when we are taken to court. To court, we are granted bail. I remember Council Honorable Adri stood shooting for me.
Kasiyano Adri
yes.
Was then chief whip of
yes. Yeah. Then we came back. No, they had not taken oath yet. They were just MPs.
They had just been elected.
Yes.
MP elected.
Yeah, they were just MPs. That was Tuesday. Tomorrow was Wednesday. Then Thursday was again walk to work.
You went back to, you continued where you had stopped?
That Thursday was the famous Night show.
But that day,
when they almost killed us at that roundabout. And I think doctor saw things turning. You know, he signals to you to leave. I went and, without them knowing, and I sat in the vehicle of Anne Mugisha,
yes,
which was just two vehicles
from KB's.
I think I was in it, I found there on the Kalit.
Dennis of Makerere.
They don't know how I disappeared. So all that fracas happens and happens. Eventually they are taken. Then I say, oh, I have been saved. Today I'm not going in.
You would have gone back only after 2
That
days.
is what I thought. Then, so we go, I think let's look for them. They have been taken to court Kasangat. We drive up to Kasangat. When I go to buy some water nearby shop, only to see 5 FFU guys around me. When you try to run, we shall shoot you. And they wanted to pass through the shop and use the backward.
And they disappear in thin air.
Then I said, they carried me, put me on a 99. I found there another guy called Oti Moses.
Had you also been arrested?
Yes. They drive. They reach Kasangati police, stop for a few minutes, and pick 4 military guys, put them on. Now they drive that road as we are going to Chira. They stop along the way. Then towards the bush. They asked us to get out, to get off, and remove all our properties.
The two of you?
Yes. So remove, then they start on me. You know, being beaten by 4 military guys. Off! That Maram Road, yes. In the middle of the road. You know, by the time I left my joints, the other guy started urinating on himself.
Or team.
On now coming back on the Kabanga, I did not have my wallet. I had 300,000 in the wallet. I had a watch. That's the last time I put on a what? A watch. I had 2 phones. I say, where are my things? The team said, oyagala kutusa. I kept quiet. They drove us, dropped our team at Kasangat. For me, they took me to Summit View. Yes, that's safe house. They beat me thoroughly.
Through the night and...
Yes, I was lucky that Nagudi.
Mariam.
No, Nagudi Asia is now a cancer. Now she's close to know. For Busega. In Dubaga. Informed people at the court have been arrested. You see, doctor has given me exposure that there is no capital that I don't know people.
There is no
capital. Capital city where I don't know people. At least I know who to talk to. Even when my name appears somewhere, so they started looking for me. I had them say, oh, the Americans are looking for him. They carried me in the night took me to Wandegea.
From Summit View to
yes.
Dumped you at Wandegea.
I found Wandegea, some guy who was friendly.
An officer?
He said, Kaija, you're going to die. If you have a number of a person, you know.
Let's call someone.
That was Kasos.
Ibrahim. You knew his number in the... Sorry.
They called him. They took me to the cell. I couldn't sit. So I went and got near the wall. That's how I was able to get down. But I realized that criminals can be very friendly. And they have some ointment they put on you. Reaching the morning, at least I
had some relief.
No, I didn't feel the pain, but I was like a balloon.
Swollen.
So Kasozi came at around 1 in the night. They told me, your brothers come. He came, I couldn't speak to him. The next day, that is when the city was cut off. When people, I think, said, doctor is dead. Kaihura's operations were right there.
At Wandegea?
Yes, he brought his seat and came and spoke to me. Are you happy about what you see? I said, I don't know. I started giving legal advice to these prisoners,
fellow inmates
on how to ask for bail when you don't have a lawyer. They didn't know how to do it, that you can raise your hand and ask for bail. I am 001 of the LDC court.
You were the first case which opened that court. This is 2011.
I was taken in. There was nobody. Because I'd want to depend on the service of a lawyer, this guy called Kanyike.
Rollins, this
Kanyike. He was scared. He didn't come.
He was William, I think.
Yes, I represented myself. So the woman asked me, the magistrate then, I don't remember her name, do you have sureties? I said I can get them. Kasozi and Nakabugo.
Farida.
Why that God? They oscillate us. That's how I got there. Because the woman looked at me and cried.
The torture wounds were too much.
I met the journalist called Mike Chugozi. I think the only person who saw me that day. He was scared. As for an interview, I don't know if I gave him an interview. So I went home for medication for some days.
She gave you a bail with Kasoza and Farida.
For years, they ran, so get letters. I asked for 30 minutes. Said, if they don't get letters,
I'm sending
you go. Those guys ran and wrote those letters. And these other guys were excited, the prisoners, at how you can ask for bail.
You own without counsel.
Because they said, no, you can't. You ask it is on the discretion of the what? Discretion of the
judicial officer.
To decide either. They said you can even have a lawyer and you lose it.
Yeah.
So that was walk to what?
To work.
Walk to work. Then fire comes in on the day Mr. Museveni was supposed to do what?
To swear in.
Swear in. We go with another colleague now, the late Anguliga.
Salimu Angoliga.
To go and pick doctor
at
from the airport. I think on reaching there, that's where I realized that people did not have authority, because Angoliga thought by speaking Kwaihura, you're allowed out. But the guy who was on the ground said, don't talk about that. Then we come. I saw people being killed.
I saw them too.
Because for me,
that day was bad.
Yes. Then I saw people run. People ran. We reached the roundabout, and we are only we who were already stuck with him. All the rest had run away. We reached in Zambia. The numbers had. As we were leaving, somebody came and told me that, tell people to move, your people to move in front of doctor. Those who will have stayed behind, they will pay. But it was a day I've seen numbers that I've never seen.
That man had people. For me, I was a journalist. That day he landed at Entebbe in the morning. We were in Zambia with Hussein Chanjo, Emiliani Kaima, Felix, this Kawesi. We were there up to 7. Doctor had not reached in Zambia. The crowds were.
So those were very serious battles. People have not seen. Then afterwards, we saw the campaigns of FOC. Activists for change.
Which was centered here.
I remember when we were seriously beaten from Namungona. We had the right in Namungona. There was a thorough beating that route up to Kalerwe. Then there's when we had one we moved in Kawempe, we moved in Kajansi. That Kajansi was people fought with the police with stones up to the night.
Thank you very much, comrade. We shall continue for part 2 next Monday. Thank you very much for your time.
You're welcome.
Thank you.